Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5, and yes, you read the title correctly. I think I imagined the perfect buoy for me. I was at work helping my co-worker pressure wash bleachers, and he was pressure washing, I was minding the hose, and I got in this trance, and I was imagining like my Grail custom buoy, and it was one of those things where it just came together one after another. I didn't have to think about it too much, but I wanted to imagine it to its every detail. And basically, what it is a fusion between the traditional and the modern. It's a fusion between like Bob Loveless and Bill Bagwell, which Bill Bagwell isn't necessarily completely traditional, but it starts off with this blade as the I guess you could say the basis of this. This is a Kotsu OSS, but it's inspired by Bob Loveless Big Barrel. And this is Lynn Thompson's more affordable version of it, which I love for self-defense purposes, and I'll get into that more later. But yeah, you have this blade. And far as I know, Bob Loveless was the first the first person to have a false edge that started at the tip and ended at the ricasso. And so you got twin edges, you got a clip point blade. So what does this do? Well, it means that you can cut with the whole surface of the spine. You have this clip that allows the back cut. I don't base my whole self-defense strategy around the false edge and the back cut, but it can be used. And you can get some pretty good cuts with the false edge with a clip point. And what else does it do? Well, I don't have a dagger nearby, but with this cross section, keep in mind we're looking at this. This, in my opinion, pierces much more effectively than most daggers. Let's just use the Cold Steel Taipan because it's kind of a extreme version of this, or even the Cold Steel Shanghai Shadow. Has a broad, big bellies on both sides of the blade. That's a lot of material to push through even a soft target. It doesn't mean it won't go through that soft target, but it's not going to be as easy. So with this clip point, you have less material on this side as you do on this side. So to me, this slips into the rib cage a lot easier than some of the broader-bladed daggers, and some daggers that are not so broad have a thicker cross-section as well. So this, you can cut on both sides. You can do the back cut with this clip. You got amazing piercing capabilities. That's awesome. I love that. And, I've never used this in self-defense, never used a knife in self-defense. I thought I was going to have to once against an animal, but didn't have to. But to me, this blade for civilian life, and apparently if your dad's getting attacked by a Cape Buffalo, this is a good blade to have, and it's good enough to take down a Cape Buffalo. I think it can take down anything in Texas. So there's the blade. Hilt gets a little bit more interesting, trust me. I want the hilt to be extended a little bit longer. I want it to curve up, kind of like a Bagwell Hell's Bell, but not that excessive. I don't want an excessive one. To be extended out and then curved up. And what this is going to do is if someone binds with your blade and slides down, there's less of a chance of it skipping off and then hitting your knuckles, in my opinion. I've never actually... I've fenced with a knife before, sparring practice. But that's something that, I'm a little bit scared of this one. You don't have a lot of hand protection. So I wanted that. I wanted a little bit extended guard with it pushed up so it can kind of catch and redirect. Not that I base my whole self-defense strategy on that, but if it does happen in that situation, I'd like to be prepared for it. Now let's get on to the rest of the hilt. I like a good traditional coffin handle. And there's a lot more to a coffin handle than most people realize. It has this wedging effect. It wedges. It's almost like having this hook right here. But not quite the same. I'm willing to say that this is more weapon retention friendly than a coffin handle, but I just like the coffin handle. Keep in mind, this is a custom knife. This is a status piece. So I want a coffin handle with koa wood. Now, there's other woods I like. I like desert ironwood burl. I like tiger maple. But I really like koa wood. I've seen a lot of koa wood knives that I was just, man, that's beautiful. And so as of right now, I'm thinking koa wood is the way to go. Maybe a nice escutcheon plate that says Shore Defense or Austin C. or, something like that. But, so that. What about the sheath? Well, sheath's going to be a little bit interesting too. That. Now, this blade isn't that wide compared to the Laredo bowie, but I want a belt stud sheath. Why do I want a belt stud sheath? Well, belt stud sheaths are pretty much the best civilian large fixed blade sheaths you can get. Especially for warmer weather. I got this Schroeder rig for the OSS, and it works great with a big coat, but for a little bit warmer weather, with a button-up shirt, or a thinner coat, I think the belt stud sheath is the best way to go. And I'd want it to be, a little bit not as wide to accommodate the thinner profile of the OSS, and hopefully the upturned guard will kind of conform around the top portion of the sheath, and that would enable me to carry it more easily in civilian life. Now, I'd want a leather sheath done in this fashion, but I'd probably get a Southern Comfort sheath to partner with it. Use one, try it out, and see which one I like better. Obviously, the Southern Comfort's going to be more expensive, I think it'll be more expensive, but it would be a little bit more comfortable. But I like leather as well. So what we got is a Bob Loveless design blade, a Bill Bagwell inspired hilt, no sub hilt, because I think that although the sub hilt helps in retention and stuff and control, I think it might potentially cause problems in the belt stud sheath. I'm not sure about that. I've never, had this in a belt stud sheath, and this doesn't quite fit. But that's the vision I have for the perfect self-defense bowie in civilian life, Texas law. And it was one of those things where, I was in a trance. These design elements were coming one after another. Boom, 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 boom. This will be here, or this will be like this. And, I need a little GIF that has Owen Wilson going, wow, because it was one of those things, it's like a wow moment. And then my coworker, without anger or anything, he yelled at me. He was like, "Hey, Austin, you want to tag in? You want to have pressure wash for a little bit?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And I was like, back to reality. And I have a custom knife maker in mind that could possibly do this. He kind of specializes in Bob Loveless design knives, and his name is TK Steingast. And I've seen some of his work, and he likes to use CPM 154, which think would be great for a blade like this. And it seems like it can oppose most things in civilian life. If someone pulls out a machete, it won't be the best thing for a machete, but you can actually engage the blade a little bit. Outclass any folding knife that the average Joe would have, and it'll do some damage. So, tell me, do you have a vision for your perfect, awesome, custom, status symbol, perfect self-defense knife that you can think of, and a maker that you would want to make it? And not to say if I had this knife made that I'm envisioning that I won't find other knives in the future that I might not like better, but this was just one of those things. I was minding the hose with the pressure washer, and it was like, it came to me. And I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, hopefully none of you will watch this video and have a couple dozen of these made and dilute my vision. I want this to be my knife, a one-off, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. Walther is going to be reintroducing the PPK to the American market. I'm interested in that and a couple other things. I have some responsibilities to take care of. So it's not going to happen anytime soon, but it's one of those things I'd like for it to happen in the future. Hopefully sooner in the future, but probably not. But that's it. I'm Satsu5, and I'm out.